Hi there, I'm Brooke Anderson of Entertainment Tonight, and raising awareness for breast cancer research and cancer prevention became personal to me last December when my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. I recently sat down with Dr. Frieda Lewis Hall, Chief Medical Officer of Pfizer, and in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I share my family's emotional journey and how we found ways to move forward together.
In the United States, 1 in every 8 women will develop breast cancer. That makes this such an important topic for us to discuss. I'm Dr. Frieda Lewis Hall, Chief Medical Officer of Pfizer, and we're sitting down today with Entertainment Tonight's Brooke Anderson to talk about her mother's experience with breast cancer.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
First of all, before we jump right into your mother's journey, let's talk a little bit about who she is.
My mom, Vicki Anderson, she was a school teacher for nearly 20 years, elementary school, middle school, and high school for a little bit of that. And she has an incredible work ethic and was truly invested in those students. You know, family values, faith, those are important to her. And I think she's modeled in a very excellent way for my siblings and me the right way to prioritize your life.
Well, one of the things that was so exciting when we first met was when I asked you about your mom, your eyes lit up and your voice lit up, and the first thing you said was she was really smart, and that she had spent a lot of time focusing on her health because she knew that unless she was healthy, she couldn't do all the wonderful things that she intended to do.
She's a bright woman, she's well-read, well-researched, and she knows how important it is to take care of herself because she wants to be here to see her grandchildren grow up. But she's always gotten regular physicals and seen the doctor regularly and just known what her body was telling her.
So with all that in mind, it must have been quite a shock for you
Yes.
all to find out that she had the diagnosis of breast cancer.
Yes.
Can you talk to us a little bit about, walk us through her journey if you can?
Sure. I will say she dutifully gets a mammogram every October. So this year she was called to the back to receive an additional ultrasound. A few days later, she received a card in the mail saying, "Come back in 6 months. There's a cyst that the radiologist saw. We'll check it again in 6 months." But she knew something was wrong. She had pain in her breast. It was increasing by the day. And her intuition told her, no, I need to go back in. So she was insistent that she needed a needle biopsy. So she went back, the test came back positive, and she was diagnosed with invasive lobular cancer in early December.
So can you tell us a little bit about how your mother told you
Sure.
that she had breast cancer?
Sure. It was Christmas night. And she and my dad had known for a couple of weeks, actually, but they wanted to tell us in person. And because we all live in different areas, that was the first time after her diagnosis that we were all together and they could tell us face to face. And I remember feeling like the floor fell out from under me as I watched my parents just crumble in front of us.
I know in many cases, women who have a diagnosis of breast cancer, one, sometimes feel uncomfortable sharing it with the family. They don't want to burden others, are used to taking care of others, and doing things on their own. So was it hard for you to get your mother to engage and for you to provide the help? Or?
I could tell she did not want to feel like a burden to anyone. And we had to reassure her she was not a burden, that we wanted to help in any way that we could. Family is paramount. So she appreciated everything we were doing and just kept saying, "Oh, I have the most wonderful children. Thank you so much." And there were a lot of hugs and a lot of tears.
There are lots of decisions that need to be made. And again, if we believe, as we do, that you're the head of your medical team, how did she come to the decisions? How did she collect her information? Did you all help her?
There was a lot of research, and she had a lot of conversations with her doctor. And the malignant tumor was in her left breast. In her right breast, she had worrisome cysts and calcification that were not cancerous, but could become cancerous. So she decided to move forward with a double mastectomy, and then see what the results were after that for the treatment to follow.
I think it's important to remember that we are all chief medical officers of our own health.
That's a great line, Frida. I love that. And it is true. It is vital that we take care of ourselves as well, and that we are aware of what's happening with our bodies.
And your body changes over time, which is a really important issue for us to remember as women as we age. Breast cancer, for example, the big risk factors are being a woman with breasts and aging, which we can't control.
So the odds can be against us.
That's exactly right. So the odds can be against us. And it's important to know that no matter who you are or what your family history is, and what your previous history has been, that we are all at risk for breast cancer, and we have to be diligent. And your mom is such a wonderful example of someone who teaches us a very important lesson.
Yeah, and I actually have learned that only a small percentage of it is actually hereditary.
You should know your own breasts and do monthly breast self-examinations. You should get breast examinations from your healthcare provider. You should discuss with your doctor when you should have your mammography. But those are all the things that women should do to ensure good breast health and to discover breast cancer early, because discovering it early is the best chance for a really good outcome.
It's essential.